Well, welcome again, everybody. I'm excited that you are joining us for what I believe is going to be an exciting journey. I'm excited about this new series that we are kicking off today, and I have a brother today that I believe is really going to help add value to your life, and I want to welcome him to the Growth Channel. Listen, if you're listening right now, I would encourage you, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the channel on all of our media platforms, Sheridan Nelson TV and the Growth Channel, where we are adding value to your life. And in this series, we are going to be discussing the theme, making the pivot. Making the big pivot in life. Right now, we are 18 months into the pandemic known as the COVID-19 virus and global pandemic that we're experiencing. And here in the U.S., it seems to be things are continuing to progress, and not in a good way, but things are extending yet again to this new variant is causing things to really take fashion and take our world by storm, which is causing a lot of havoc in people's lives, and people are having to regroup, and companies and organizations and individuals are having to regroup. And so over the next several weeks, we are going to be talking to people who have made powerful personal pivots in life as we look at different areas. We're going to tackle some areas, whether it relates to finances, careers, our eating habits, our health, and we're going to look at a host of areas and organizations that have had to make personal pivots in order to thrive in now what is now known as this new normal. So I have a guest today that I believe is going to help us in this area, who has made, man, just a tremendous personal transformation in his own life. And so today we're going to dive in as it relates to this whole conversation and talk today about making pivots, but we're going to make the pivot today as it relates to our health and the quality of life that we're looking to lead. I believe today you're going to be in for a major treat. So I want you, Growth Channel, and all of our listeners, to let's welcome today a brother beloved in the person of Levy Walston. Welcome, Levy, to the Growth Channel.
Thank you, Pastor Nelson. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm delighted to have you, man, here. We have been knowing each other for a while, very long time. And I've been just amazed at your personal growth and development, and man, where you are now in life, and some of the exciting things that are taking place in your life now that we're going to dive in. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but just take a moment and let's tell everybody, who is Levy. Tell us about who you are, some of your work, your body of work, and all of that good stuff, and then we'll dive in. Introduce yourself.
All right. Well, like Pastor Nelson has said, my name is Levy Walston. Most people might know me as Booney, my nickname. I'm 32 years old. Grew up in Abyssinia Baptist Church. It's my home church. And we'll talk about it a little bit more. I recently started a business. Growing up all my life, I was struggled with my weight, been overweight majority of my life. Grew up, family, overweight. We like to eat. Came about a year and a half ago, started experiencing some health issues, which caused me to start making an immediate change with my eating habits. And from then, it's just been taken on. And before I knew it, I lost an entire person. And so now I'm trying to reach back and help, break generational curses of eating habits. And I'm started a business. A lot of people don't know a lot of things about nutrition, how to read a food label, how to shop and things like that. So I'm just trying to help people change. And some people, feel they can't do it, well, I'm living proof that you can do this.
You can do it. Wow. Also, man, you failed to mention that you are a very accomplished musician.
Yeah, indeed, Al.
Man, he is amazing on keys and on the organ, and is an accomplished musician and can sing as well too. He left that part out too. So he's a man of many trades, and as we're going to get in, you're going to discover that he can cook. He can do a host of things, and so I'm excited that we're going to be talking a little further today. But listen, we have been in this theme talking about making revisions, making personal edits of your life to have greater impact. That's kind of been my mantra for this year. And when I look at you and some of the things that you've accomplished, and man, some of the personal edits that you made for your own life, and the way you've rewritten some things in your own life, I want to talk a little more about that journey. All right. Let's take us back to, I guess, when you were what you would maybe surmise at your worst state, right? So talk to us about, since we're kind of focusing on making the health change, both physically, mentally, and spiritually. Talk about when when you were probably at your heaviest point, and if you don't mind sharing, what was that weight? What was How did you feel spiritually, mentally, physically at that particular time?
Sure, certainly, certainly. At my heaviest, I went to the doctor. Now during that season of my life, probably about 2 years, a year and a half ago. Like I say, I was extremely overweight. I didn't know I was even as big as I was, and I'm only 5'4". I give myself
Okay.
5'5" on a good day.
On a good day.
And so I'm thinking I'm about like 250, 260,
Okay.
somewhere around there. I noticed I had begun to like urinate a whole lot. I was beginning like tired and just had no energy, simple things like going a flight of steps. She's like, whew, I'm worn out. But I noticed I was extremely fatigued. I was urinating a whole lot, even like to the point where I was like, really had to jump up out the bed at night and run to the bathroom. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not a kid. Like I'm not 3 years old.
Right, right. And how old are you now? At that point, you were
I was 30,
30. Okay, okay.
30 going on 31. And I said, okay. So I, went, got checked out, went to the doctor and stepped on the scale. And I was 320 pounds,
320 pounds.
320 pounds.
Wow.
And come to find out that, I was like borderline, like pre-diabetic. And that's why
Okay.
I urinated so much, because I guess my body was trying to get rid of all the excess sugar. And I already was suffering since I've been a kid with sleep apnea, extremely loud snoring. Anybody know if I fell asleep in the room, like you would know, because I snored extremely loud.
Yeah, yeah.
And then come to find out from blood work, I was suffering with gout, because I was wondering like what my foot ended up. Kind of find out my uric acid level was high, suffering with gout, blood pressure kind of borderline high. So it was like, okay, yeah, you need to do something about this. And then even like spiritually, it's like I was drained spiritually too, because it. I feel it's all connected. Your physical, all the spiritually, like it's all connected. Because even if you don't have physical energy to do stuff, you ain't gonna feel like getting up in the morning to pray, or you ain't gonna feel like reading the Bible. Or I mean, simple
Right.
things like that. You ain't gonna have the energy to get up in the morning to do small things like that. So I would say that was probably one of the most lowest moments of my life that I was, even like social wise, because when you've been the fat kid all your life, it's always like all right, just hiding in the corner and different things like that. So even when you very of a bigger person, that affects even like your social life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, so as you're saying, I mean, it really had an effect on your total quality of life. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you go to the doctor because I guess your health problems and conditions were intensifying, right? So coming out of that doctor's visit, what is going through your head? What are you feeling? What are you sensing? What are you thinking?
Going on in my head, I'm like, okay, all right, I have to do something about this, like ASAP. A lot of times as men, especially as black men, we don't like going to the doctor, so we know stuff wrong, but it's always we love that. Well, if I don't know, I ain't got to worry about it. But
Right. Or deal with it, right?
that's worse. So it's like so I knew about it. So it's like, okay, I'm at a point where now I have to make some changes, and one of the main changes I'll say is because one, I don't like needles. So I was like,
Okay.
you know what? I ain't gonna be sticking myself. So I was like, I got to do something about it. And it was actually that day I made a decision and I started that day. I started that day. It's funny you say that because, a lot of times when people say, well, I'm going to start losing weight, they say, well, I'm going to start next week or I'm going to start
That's
Monday.
right.
Well, I'm going to finish this weekend now. I'm going to finish this week out and get all my cheat meals out and get all my eating
Oh
out.
man.
And actually, when I made that decision, it was around like July 4th because I was doing a cookout. And I said, you know what? I'm starting this day. So I had heard a lot about the keto diet. So I didn't know too much about it. So I was like, well, you know what? Well, let me try this. I know it's low carb, low sugar. And I know, you can't have a lot of breads and starches and things like that. So at the cookout, I had, hot dogs, hamburgers, chicken, all that good stuff, had all the sides, mac and cheese, potato salad.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And then people was like, are you going to eat as a hot dog and a hamburger with no bun and some green beans? But I didn't. I told nobody what I was doing because here's the key. I know a lot of times in life I tried to lose weight before, and you know how we always say, around January, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and we make all these big announcements to people,
Right.
and then 2 days in a weekend, everybody like, yo, what happened to you? I thought you was doing this. So I made a decision in my mind, like I'm gonna do this. And I ain't gonna say nothing to nobody. It's like they will start seeing the results. Because one, I didn't want to put my foot in my mouth, make these big announcements like I'm about to do all this, and people are like, what happened? So I was like, no, I used the excuse. I was like, well, I've been cooking all day, so I've been snacking here and there. So I was like, yeah, so I'm not that hungry. So I was like, oh, okay. They were like, oh, this food here, you gonna eat that? So I started with that. I didn't know too much about keto, but I said, well, you know what? Green beans are okay, and I'm gonna eat this hot dog hamburger like with no bun. And It was that day I made a decision. I started that day.
Wow. So you started that day and you began to follow the keto, ascribe to the keto style of eating, focusing on low carbs and things. What are there some other things that you would like to share that you found to be real key and pivotal in leading to your transformation?
One of the main things I found to be pivotal is, like always, is consistency.
Okay.
Just being consistent. Another thing is I found out pivotal is have a support group and people around you that support what you're trying to do.
Okay.
Because I
Okay.
know at one point, going out before certain friends, you got Taco Tuesday and Wing Wednesday, and Taco this Thursday and Spaghetti
Yeah, turn
Friday
up Thursday, right?
and Fish Fry Friday. So like people were accustomed to going all that. So it was like the first time, like when I first started, and people began to notice I was making the changes. They was like, oh come on, man, you can have a wing ain't gonna kill you, or bro, you can have a taco, this and that. And then I was like, no, I'm good. So it got to the point where now, after my consistency, and now like it almost like I created my environment. So like now, like people just know, like, yeah, don't invite him to that because he he ain't gonna eat that taco. And at one point, you tempted me with a taco, I was gonna eat it.
Yeah.
At one point, if I was driving down the interstate and that hot now sign came on Dunkin' Donuts, I mean at Krispy Kreme, I was about to cause an accident. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get over there. But like I say, so get people around you that support you. Even if they don't want to change their habits, they don't force you to conform or change yours. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
if like in the household,
absolutely.
like if the family, if they still want to eat a certain type of way, like let me enjoy my baked chicken. Don't make me try to eat the fried or things like that. So get you some consistency, and then another thing is accountability.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
get you some accountability partners. One thing I believe in, especially when it comes to eating better or working out, whatever, I believe in groups, because a lot of times when you go or do something by yourself, there's no accountability. So even if I go to the gym, it's nobody to hold me accountable. So it's like I can go there and walk around for an hour if I want to. But
Okay.
if you have somebody accountability, like checking in, hey, did you work out today? Or social media, we got Zoom, FaceTime. Let's do this in the home workout together, or let's do our get a water gallon jug, fill it with water. Let's have some type of accountability.
Now, I think you in terms of something key, um, I know a lot of times people feel intimidated when you know you starting at the beginning and then you go into these gym environments and man you see everybody shredded and cut up and you know they bench pressing or running like crazy. How did you overcome that? I know you said in terms of accountability in groups, but how did that translate for you in terms of environment and going into a gym? You know, now you know already feeling, you know, you making these commitments, but now you go into these environments. How did you tackle that, and what did you find helpful with starting that workout and fitness part aspect along with you know the other things you're doing?
Right. That's a good question. One of the things I did is I found people who are like in the same boat I am, you know. So
Okay.
like even like my complex has a gym in it. So like one of my friends who's trying to lose weight too is like, hey, we we both about to be tired. We both about to be huffing and puffing in here.
Okay.
Meet me at my
Okay.
gym. Let's start with something small. We ain't go run 2 miles. Let's start with walking 10 minutes on a treadmill. Let's start walking
Right.
5 minutes on a treadmill. Okay,
Okay.
things like that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah,
Go
I was
ahead.
going
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
say, like, because that was a big point that you said, because a lot of people are intimidated, going into
Right.
the gym, and seeing somebody already there. So yeah, like I say, and sometimes I know it's easier said than done, but even sometimes when I would go to the gym, I would always, instead of using that as intimidation mode, I would tell myself, that's gonna be me one day. Like,
Okay.
like that's gonna be me one day. I'm gonna be on that treadmill like that one day. And so I use that as fuel and
Yeah.
as like a goal to get to instead of
Right.
something
Right.
to be intimidated by. It's
So
like you know better than me. It's like I'm gonna get there one day.
right. And so now you started creating a vision for your life of what you wanted to look like. And yeah, you know, those saying, I mean, the saying in the scripture says, you know, without a vision, the people perish, you know? And so now you have a vision for the kind of life person you want to be, how you want to look, going forward. And that now becomes a tool for motivation, as you're going forward. Oh man, that's awesome. Any other things you would say to somebody you know who's beginning this journey, beginning to make this pivot, health wise and fitness wise? Are there any other things that you would say to kind of give them some tips or encouragement?
Definitely, one thing I would definitely say is, everybody has their own journey. you know
Okay.
so don't compare yourself to anyone else. Don't compare your results to anyone else's results. Like I tell a lot of people, even myself, like, don't compare yourself to my results, because everybody's body's different, everybody's commitment levels are different, what I'm saying, everybody's lifestyles
Right.
are different.
Right. That's
Because
good.
at one point, like I was going hard like twice a day at least, sometimes 3 times a day. So I was going, going hard,
To,
hard.
so at one point you got to the point. Now, how long did it take you to get to that point? I mean, when now you're going 2 and 3 times a day to the gym. My goodness, I do well just to get there once, much less thinking about 3 times. But again, my lifestyle may, just my goodness.
Let me tell you how I got to that point. Um, and this is another reason too. Another thing that would tremendously help people out. Um, your health, I consider it an investment. Because
Hmm.
we can invest into any other things. We can invest into cars. We can, we can invest into clothes. We can invest into bags. We can invest into trips. And I deserve a treat. I deserve to treat myself. Well, the
That's
same
right.
way I would invest and to say I deserve to treat myself when I wanted that watch or you want that, I wanted that Louis Vuitton belt or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? The same way
Right.
I invested into my health. And one thing about it, I don't believe, especially when you work hard for it, and especially like during a pandemic when things are crazy, I don't believe in wasting money. So I end up getting a personal trainer. And when I
Okay.
got him, um, I paid my money up front. So it was like, whether I did it or not, I paid the money. So when you invest that type of money into something, oh yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
you're gonna get it done. You know,
Right. Right.
it's
Right.
like,
You don't want to see it go
so,
waste. Right.
yeah, it's
Right.
like, so that's what I did. Certain things to help motivate me. I heavily invested into my health. So with personal trainers and eating clean and different things like that. Because I mean, you all know, eating healthy or just living healthy period these days costs money. It's
It
expensive.
does.
You
It
know,
does.
a 4 for 4 is $4. A salad, $10.
Right. That's right. That's right.
So once I invested that money into my trainer, it's like boom, like you gonna waste this money. Like you could have did a lot with that money. You gonna waste this. So mentally, like that's what helped me get it. It was like, no, I ain't about to waste this money.
Wow, yeah, that's good. That's good. And I think that's key, man, in terms of seeing the you re-envisioning how we invest in ourselves, because you're right. Normally when we think about investing in ourselves, it's the treats. It's the, hey, I'm gonna go buy these shoes, I'm gonna treat myself to a outfit, some shoes, a watch, or some meal, or this, that, and the other. But then once we kind of begin to recalibrate and re-envision our lives, to really begin to think about how we invest in ourselves differently. That was really good. I like that point. And so now investing in a better quality of life that's going to produce different results. And so now I'm investing in my health and working out, and now, and it has other benefits. It brings a whole nother set of benefits. And so that was a really powerful point. Now, I know for our video audience, do you have a picture of your before and after that you could put up? Do you have that available?
Yes. Let me see. Virtual background. If I turn off my camera for a second, will my picture still show up? Because it's on my background. Hold on, I'm gonna turn my camera off 1 second. Video. You see it pop up?
Wow, yeah, man, we see it. We see it. We see it, man. Now on my left with the scarf on, that's when you were at about 300.
Yes, I was about 320 in that picture.
Wow. Now on the right, you are what now?
160.
From 300 pounds to 160. You talking about a pivot, man? That is just awesome and amazing. Now, when the 160 Levy looks back at the 300-pound Levy, right? What does he say? What does he say to him?
First of all, first thing he says is like, how did you let yourself get that big? Because a lot of times when you're gaining weight, you don't realize how big you are sometimes until you look at pictures, and you be like, whoa. Because even like certain friends, when they see that picture or even other pictures I post, they be like, bro, I ain't know you was that big. They was like, I failed you as a friend. They was like,
Yeah.
They was like, I did not know you got that big. So when I look at those pictures, I tell myself, one, is like, wow, how did you let yourself get that big? But at the same time, when I look at those pictures before and after, I tell myself like, wow, you did it. Like you set a goal and you surpass it. And but just like the Bible says, like literally, you have to be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Yeah. Okay.
So I had to have a complete mind change, like just everything about life. And at the end of the day, like when I look at the picture now and then, my whole mindset has changed, and it's like, even to the point where even if nobody was rooting for me, it's like I'm doing this for myself,
For yourself,
so that like, and I'll be honest, there were days, I fell off. There were days I didn't feel like doing it. There are days now I don't feel like doing it, but there are days I fell off. But just like even the Bible says again, the just man like fall down, but guess what? You get back up again. Like you don't stay there, Okay, so you messed up. Okay, well, guess what? Get back and keep going. You had a quote unquote cheat meal. Okay, guess what? Start back over again. Whatever you do is just keep going. And so when I look at those pictures, I'm just like, wow. I'm just even now sometimes to myself, and like I'll be honest, sometimes like now I still don't believe it. Sometimes I still see the person in the picture on the left, like, and sometimes people they be like, hey, boom, like that ain't you no more. Even like, because sometimes like I may be in the mirror and I'll be like, man, I was like, man, my stomach. They were like, bro, what stomach? And so like mentally sometimes I was like, I try not to go back there because it's like it's still a shock to me, even when I ran into somebody yesterday in the store and I walked up to them, they like, hey, I said, hey, how you doing? And this person been knowing me all my life, haven't seen me since the pandemic. One of the members of ABC.
Wow.
She said, hey, how you doing? I said, you don't even know who I am. She said, no. I said, it's Booney. She said, get the heck out of here. So it's like when people see that, it's like wow, like you really have made this transformation.
Made this transformation. Right, right. And so now people have to readjust and adjust to you. Yeah. Because they knew you one way, but now it's been a totally different transformation of yourself. And I think, man, that is so powerful what you said in terms of the renewing of the mind, the renewing of the mind. Because as goes the mind, so goes the rest. And man, I think that was really, 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 really powerful. In terms of a statement there. Um, what would you say have been the greatest impacts of your transformation? I mean, in terms of where you are now, what, and I know you mentioned health challenges before, and sleep apnea and pre-diabetic and things of that nature. Now, when you look at this pivot that you've made, going from 300 pounds to 160, and you made this pivot, you committed to it, you had ups and downs, highs and lows, and everything in between. And so, let me ask this before I finish that question. That journey is how long when we look at that after picture, how long a journey and transformation process was that?
Um, Actually, a little over a year. So when I started like the keto, that was probably like January, a year and a half ago. So I lost about 50 pounds doing the keto, and it was last July when I got with my trainer, Calvin Barnes.
Okay.
Um, and then so now we just we're in August now, so it's been like a year for the additional 110 pounds.
Okay. So about a year. Okay. So what would you say are the greatest both benefits and impact that it has had on you?
Okay, awesome. One of the greatest benefits, well, first I'll start with like my health. Um, my health is a whole lot better now. I went to the doctor the end of June for my physical, and when I walked in there, actually one of the persons I went to high school with is his medical assistant. You know, when you check in, and
Okay.
when I walked in, she was like, "I know you kidding me." So just those results, she was like, so she got on FaceTime and she called her sister. She's like, you ain't gonna believe who just walked in this doctor office and what they look like. So she's showing her sister me on FaceTime. She like, who that? She said,
They
it's
don't even
Levy.
recognize you. They don't even
You know,
recognize you.
and didn't recognize me. So then, I go to my doctor, and he's like, oh wow. And he was like, you didn't have surgery. I was like, no. And I'm like, he was like, okay, I'm your, PCP. I would know if you had surgery. He was like, you did this in a little over a year, just naturally. I said, yes, sir. So, he ordered blood work. And so all my blood work results came back. He took me off the allopurinol, which for my uric acid and for the gout. Haven't had any gout flare-ups,
Wow.
anything like
Okay.
that.
Wow. Okay.
My uric acid is in normal levels. My AC1s and all that stuff for sugar levels are perfect now. No more sleep apnea. Don't do all that loud snoring, like none of that anymore. Um, Cholesterol is great now. My blood pressure was 116 over 67. He was like, people would pay for this blood pressure.
Absolutely.
So,
I know I would.
you know,
I
so
would.
so not only is it the health benefits, but I think even more that, I thank God, for my health being back on track now, like all those things I was suffering from, like they're completely gone now. Um, but also, so one of the things, part of my trainer's trainer's program is, when you work out with him, because he has like a 7-day workout program for you. So even like
Okay.
the days you aren't with him, he still has workouts for you to do, and like you check in via social media, doing that. So from doing that, I got like a little following. People follow me, and I know people are watching me. What I'm saying, I'm just trying to not do 25 burpees, because if you don't do check in with them virtually, next time you go to them, you got 25 burpees to do. So I'm just
Oh
checking in because
wow.
I ain't want to do no burpees. So,
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
and people follow me. And so like about a month ago, I was out Mount Trashmore because, me and some of the fellows was out going to Mount Trashmore every morning. And
Okay.
I ran into this girl, and she recognized me from social media. And she was like, hey, I follow you on Instagram. I was like, oh, hey, how you doing? She was like, let me tell you, she was like, I'm glad I ran into you, because she was like, I want to tell you this. She said, I've been following you for a while. She said, and I had a consultation to get weight loss surgery done. She said, once I seen you, she said, I canceled my surgery. And I said, I'm going to get this one more shot, because if he can do it, I can. And it was at that moment I said, okay, yeah, I am going to now full time do this to help people out. She said, Levy
Wow.
said, I canceled my surgery when I seen your results. She said,
That's
if he can do this, I'm gonna give it one more shot.
so here's the powerful thing that so not only has the impact had a personal benefit to you, but now as a result of your transformation, you're now empowering and having an impact on others. Man, yeah. And that's and so now you're in a position to both through your physical transformation um be a added value and have impact on others, and so now they see that they can be motivated by your transformation and believing in themselves as a result of what they've seen your journey over the last year progress. That's really powerful. That's really powerful. As we get ready to come to a point of kind of closing our conversation, but I know it's going to probably lead to a part two. And for all of you that are listening, I want you to subscribe. And in just one moment, we're going to tell you how you can get more information on Levy and some of the powerful things that he's doing. So stay tuned and stay locked in so you can make sure you get that information. But listen, if this is adding value to you, I want you to go ahead and put it in the comments now and let us know how this is adding value to you and how it's helping you grow today. But listen, what would you say to our listening audience on here on the Growth Channel? We're committed to helping people grow. For people that are needing to start this health journey, listen, myself, I need to, from what my doctors are telling me, I need to lose about 40 pounds myself, right? And so what would you say to people if you had a couple of takeaways, a couple of things would be your 2 to 3 or 5 key things that you would want people to take away from our talk today about this health transformation and making this pivot for in their health and fitness? What would those things be for you?
One, I would say, first start out with realistic expectations and realistic goals.
Realistic expectation, realistic goals. Okay.
So if you aren't exercising at all right now,
You
nine
ain't
times
ready
out of
for a
10,
marathon
yeah,
right now.
you're not gonna start working out 3 times a day. Like you're not.
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay.
have realistic expectation and goals. So it may be starting out with I'm gonna walk for 30 minutes a day, or
Okay.
I'm gonna do this for 20 minutes a day. I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna go walk around the park. And simple things like when I go to the grocery store, I'm gonna park further away. Instead of trying to find that first
Right.
close up spot. It's small things.
Okay. So number one, set realistic goals and expectations. Set them, but make sure they're realistic. Okay, good. All right, keep going.
Now, once you set those goals, follow through with them.
Follow through.
Commit to it. So if you say this week I'm not eating sweets, don't eat sweets that week. If you say this week I'm not doing this, like follow through with it. Follow through with it. And then along with following through with it, one thing I'll tag team with it, have somebody to hold you accountable.
So realistic expectations. Once you set those goals, commit to them. So no giving in. So somebody brings something to work. It's so and so birthday, and I'm gonna go ahead and I said I wasn't gonna eat sweets, but I'm gonna have a piece of this cake, right? So so commit to them, and then accountability partners, having people and being accountable.
Mm-hmm. Be accountable. Have an accountability partner. Have somebody that you know and trust. That hey, say, even when you go out, and sometimes you may get a little mad, but it's all right. You'll be okay.
Right.
You ain't supposed to have that. And then like that's when conviction hits you down because now it's like,
Right.
all right, dang.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
have that accountability partner. Secondly, I should name this first. Have a prayer life. You
Wow.
know,
Wow.
prayer life.
Prayer life.
Because of course, I had a great trainer. I had a determined mind, but it was God that allowed me to do this. So it was
Okay.
God that gave me strength to do this. So, like lean and depend on like God and like have a prayer life. And like the old saints would say, if you take one step, God take two. So
Yeah.
like, it's like when you pray, hey, like, God, I'm seriously trying to do better, and I want to do better, and I need your help. I need your willpower.
Mm-hmm.
He'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
He'll
Mm-hmm.
give it to you, especially when he sees like you're trying.
And and that's really good, man. A great point, because I know one of the things that I have started doing since I've kind of started trying to make this recommitment. So when I'm taking my walks now, my playlist, the books I'm listening to when I'm hitting those walks, and really turning that time into a time of devotion and meditation and just talking to God. And I'm amazed that sometimes the distance I'm not focusing on the whole time how tired I am, how bad my feet hurt, and all of those things. When I kind of lock in on something else, and I'm just taking that time to just talk to God, or I get caught up in the worship song or whatever the case may be, and I find it really rejuvenating. As I'm getting that day started. So not only have I gotten some exercise in, but I've had some God time as well. So I think that's really good in terms of having a prayer life, because we are weak, we are vulnerable, and I think we have to rely on not only on ourselves, but having those accountability partners, but tapping into the spiritual realm as well in terms of the power that we have in God. That's awesome.
Yes. So I would say a combination of that, and this one is the last most important one. Um, I would say always remember your why, and if you don't have one, come up with a why.
You got to get a why.
You got to get a why for why you're doing this. Like, and then every time you feel like you want to quit or you can't do it or you want to throw in the towel, what they say, remember your why. So it may be, if your why is, I'm doing this for my children. So every time you feel like giving up, picture that child, like this is for my child. Like, I want to be out there running in the park with my child, or I want to be here healthy
Wow.
for my children.
Yeah, long
Whatever your
life,
why is,
longevity. Yeah,
remember
yeah.
that why.
Remember your why. Remember, if you don't have a why, you need to get your why. So even before you start setting these goals, that is so key. You need to develop and get your why. If it's just better health, you don't want to be on medications, you want longevity, whatever it is, get your why and be motivated and always driven by your why, man. That's good stuff. Those were some powerful points, man. Well, listen, I want to thank you for joining us, man. I've enjoyed this sit down, and I know for everybody who's listening, you have really provided some motivation and some encouragement, man, and just your own personal journey. But before we go, since you've led and had this powerful transformation, man, now it has opened some doors, and it's opened some doors for a lot of exciting things to now be happening in your life that wasn't happening before in this particular area, but since your commitment to, man, better health, quality of life, man, now you are having a tremendous impact and got a whole lot of exciting things to talk about. So a couple of things I want you to do. One, for everybody that's listening, for everybody that's watching, tell us how they can find you. If you would share your your handles on Instagram, Facebook. If you have a website, share that information. And then also, I want you to tell them about some of the exciting things that you have going on, that you're committed to helping people on their own journey.
Sure. You can find me on Instagram right now at underscore BMUZIK 23 _. So that's underscore B music with the Z and the K 23 _ on Instagram. Or you can find me on Facebook at my name Levy, Levy, Walston, WALSTON. And it'll probably have like boondocks like in the middle of it. So Levy Boondock Walston. Website is coming real soon. So I'll probably next time we do part 2, I'll probably have a website for you.
Okay.
And just through that, and through this, the Lord has blessed me to open up a business. And if you probably see behind me, that's my business logo back there.
Fork into Fitness. Fork into Fitness. Tell us about the business, man. Tell us about the business.
So what Fork into Fitness is, it incorporates 3 things. It incorporates health and wellness from the inside out. A lot of times, we focus on the physical aspect of our health, and this is good, but we don't focus on the internal part of our health. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, so it has 3 components. One component is the consultation. So a lot of people, who are trying to lose weight, they well, I don't know, how do I start? Where do I start? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? And different things like that. So now I'm starting to offer consultations that way, because everybody has different needs. Everybody has different goals. Everybody has different dietary needs. Everybody has, different ailments that they're dealing with. So they're pretty much like one-on-one custom, based consultations. And I get with you and get some information from you. And we started the basic steps. And, this is what you need to start with. This is how you need to start, start doing this, start doing that.
Okay.
Like that. Secondly, some of the products I've used in my weight loss, and I'll tell you more about that, when you hit me up. I don't know if you heard of like muscadine grapes. So these products I use, they're made from muscadine grapes. They're fat blocker. They're good for joint pain, inflammation. These are like very powerful. Ginger, turmeric. I take it every day. I have a little slight arthritis in my knee. I get up in the morning now, joints feel good because, they're not inflamed. So that's part of the business as well. And these products promote good gut health,
Okay.
So not only are we getting physically fit, but we're getting our inside together. We, getting the toxins out of our kidneys and things like that.
Sure, yes.
Internal health. And then the third part is nutrition. I offer weekly meal prep. So for those who are trying to lose weight, I offer meal preps for those. For those who are trying to, gain weight, gain muscle, I have meal preps for those. For those who just trying to eat clean or just want to eat better, I service that as well.
Okay. And for the meal prep portion, you both will prepare the meals or provide the plans for meal. Okay.
So I prepare them weekly if they want to. And also for those who want to like cook on their own, whatever, I provide the plan and different things like that as well.
Okay. Wow, man, that's awesome, man, and helping people along the journey. Now, what about the fitness aspect? Have you tapped into that as of yet, or
that is coming soon as well. I have like a few people now that I'm working with, just because I'm not a certified personal trainer, but it's like
sharing.
I can know some stuff that can help you out, but even like my trainer Calvin Barnes, he's working with me, so we got some things coming together, some fitness classes and some pop-ups and some big fix and some little boot camps coming up. So it's some exciting things coming.
Well, man, this has been a powerful conversation. And Levy, I want to thank you for joining us today. And for all of you that have been encouraged and enriched by this episode, I would encourage you to hit him up on his social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and the soon coming website. You can find all of that information at the top of this broadcast. You can hit the links and it will take you directly to his platforms. And I would encourage you to, if you're serious about your health journey, to hit him up. Thank you for joining us today. I hope this has added value to your life today. I hope it's helped you grow and make a better commitment to your fitness and your health and your overall quality of life. I hope it's helped you to grow today. So if this has added value to you, what I would encourage you to do is to hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and let's take this and add value to others as well. Until next time, I'm your host, Dr. Sheridan Nelson, and this is the Growth Channel, where we are committed to helping you grow.